A very good morning to all of you. I, Dr. Monica Jaiswal from English Department. Today is going to give my lecture on Mahasweta Devi's Draupadi. Mahasweta Devi, she was a woman of great vigor and compassion. When India was facing social problems like discrimination, there was one voice who didn't stop even under the oppression of British Raj, and that was the voice of Mahasweta Devi. She spent her life working for the tribes of India. She wrote about the injustices towards Dalits and tribes. She reached an international platform because of her contribution to literature. Let us discuss the Mahasweta Devi's life from the start. Mahasweta Devi was an Indian writer and activist who predominantly worked for the rights and discrimination against the scheduled tribes. She was born in Dhaka, now in West Bengal. She first attended Eden Montessori School in Dhaka but later shifted to West Bengal, and there she studied in Midnapur Mission Girls High School, and she has also attended Santiniketan later on. She joined Viswabharati University to complete her BA in English, and later on she earned an MA in English from Calcutta University. Near about 100 novels she has written in Bengali language. Her works are often translated into other languages. She actively worked for the Adivasi, Dalit, and minorities in India. She spent several years in Adivasi villages trying to understand the injustice and struggle these communities face by Britishers. Her work, Choti Mundi Evong Tarter, was inspired by the struggle of the people of our country. In 1964, she joined Vijaygarh Jyotishree College as a professor. The college was working for working class women students. During that period, she was also a journalist and creative writer. Her works depicted the oppression of Dalits by the British Raj and upper class people. Apart from literature, Devi raised her voice against discrimination several times. And she suffered a heart attack on 23rd July 2016, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his remorse on Twitter. Several of her short stories and novels have been adapted into film features. Bollywood movie Sangharsh and Rudali were based on her works. Sangharsh was based on Layali Asmaner Aina, and Rudali was based on the novel Rudali. Bayan, a Hindi film, was based on a short story. Similarly, movies like Mati Mein, Gangur, Ullas were based on the short stories Bayan, Choli Ke Piche, and Daur. And she has been the awardee of so many prizes. In 1979, she received Sahitya Akademi Award. In 1996, she received Gyanpith Award from Bharati Gyanpith. In 1997, she received Raman Magsaysay Award. In 2006, she received Padma Vibhushan from the Government of India. In 2012, she was nominated, not awarded, she was nominated for the Nobel Prize for Literature. Now we will discuss critically Mahasweta Devi's Draupadi, a famous story. Draupadi is a story about Draupadi Mahajan, a woman who belongs to Senthal tribe of West Bengal. She is a Robin Hood-like figure who, with her husband Dulana, murders wealthy landlords and usurps their wealth, which is the primary source of water for the blaze. The government attempts to subjugate these tribal rebel groups through many means: kidnapping, murder, rape. Draupadi is captured by the officer Senanayak, who works who instructs the army officers to rape her to extract information about the rebel uprising. Ironically, the same officers who violated her body insist that she covers up once she is done with. Intransigently, Dobby rips off her clothes and walks towards Officer Senanayak, naked. Sennaik is shocked by her defiance as she stands before him, with her hand on her hip as the object of his search, and exclaims, "There is not a man there that I should be ashamed." The story is stripped away from the Mahabharata's grand narrative and royal attributes and situated in Champabhumi, a village in West Bengal. The Chirharan of Draupadi is reconstructed in Devi's story, subverting the narrative where Draupadi is rescued by a man, Lord Krishna. Instead, in Devi's narrative, Draupadi is not rescued, yet she continues to exercise her agency by refusing to be a victim, leaving the armed man terribly afraid. The character of Draupadi in the story Draupadi allows us to view the subaltern's identity, the hegemonic structure seen through the policeman and officer Sananayak. Thus, Draupadi's body becomes a site of both the execution of authoritarian power and of gendered resistance. Draupadi bears the torture as she is raped by many men through the encouragement of the voice of another man, Arjit. Devi illustrates her how any conflict or war results in women's body being the primary targets of attack by men. In context of both the Naxalite movement and the Bangladesh Liberation War, both men and women are tortured, but it is much worse for women as they additionally undergo sexual abuse. Thus, with Spivak's concepts on the subaltern in mind, through Draupadi, Devi represents the gendered subaltern subject who exists at the periphery of society and dares to go against the existing patriarchal structures. Spivak has shown concern regarding the representation of the subaltern in the mainstream discourse on the basis that the subaltern can't represent it, only represented. However, Devi's use of polyphony not just represents the subaltern, it also explores the politics around the category of the subaltern. So, to conclude, we can say Draupadi presents a strong woman who, despite being marginalized and exploited, transgresses conventional sexual and societal standards. Draupadi subverts the physicality of her body from the powerlessness into powerful resistance. She doesn't represent the tribal woman by romanticizing her depiction of Draupadi, but instead realistically represents her through simple language and complex emotions. Draupadi recognizes a woman's body as an asset through which they can assess the socio-political objectification of their bodies and overcome oppression. Hope this lecture on Mahasweta Devi's Draupadi, it would be quite helpful for the students. Thank you.